Hey guys, the Chicken is here. We are back today with another home gym video. In today's video, guys, I wanted to talk about something that I consider myself to be an expert on, and that is building a home gym with a low ceiling height, as you can see right here. Not a lot of space to work with. So the biggest thing is obviously just the different types of equipment you can get, but I also want to go over some hacks and like tips and tricks and things that I've come up with that have worked like extremely well for the for the restrictions that I have. So number one, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Do me a solid, hit that button right now. Yeah, so number one, the actual number one thing is the types of equipment that you can get. So for ceiling height, obviously the first thing you're gonna do when you build out a home gym is you want a power rack, right? Now, they do make shorty power racks. I believe the shortest one, the shortest full rack you can get is 72 inches, which is exactly 6 feet. So I could have gone that route, but what I did instead was I actually got a squat stand, and then I got the Rogue HR2 attachment on it. So I essentially made a half rack out of a squat stand. I've made several videos on that. If you want to search just how to turn a squat stand into a half rack, it'll probably come up. But this was super functional for me. It allowed me to have plate storage, a place to squat if I wanted to, bench, do anything you can do in a full rack essentially. Minimizing the footprint, minimizing the ceiling space, the ceiling height of it. You can see right there, it actually is very, very close. We've got about, I can just slide my hand in there. There's like an inch or two of space in between. So it does fit, but it's just fitting. It's almost banging on the light. So yeah, in terms of a power rack, squat stands are going to be the easiest to fit in, then half racks, depending. And what some people do is they get full racks, and depending on the type of rack that you want, maybe you're dead set on getting a Sornex or Rogue, what is it called, Monster, the Cage, something like that. You can go that route. You can get these 90-inch racks, but you just have to cut the top of the post. Some of them, they're not going to work when you do that, but a lot of people do that. So I wanted to mention that as an option. That's something that I didn't really think about. I didn't know that people did that, but yeah, I mean, as long as you have something to cut the steel, you can buy whatever rack you want, cut it to the height that you need, and then you get all the attachments and benefits of that full rack, and then it fits your space. So there's another option. Now, in terms of the rest of the equipment, you're always limited by the ceiling space, right? So I think the big one would be an accessory for legs, because a leg press is most likely not going to fit. Hack squat, most likely not going to fit. So for me, that's another benefit of the belt squat that I have over here. And I'll show you what I did with it, but I'll get this band out of the way. But yeah, just another great benefit of the belt squat, because it doesn't take up any ceiling space at all. And I don't know if you guys can see, I'll show you the belt squat first. There it is. I don't know if you guys can see in the between the ceiling joists there. What I've actually done is I attached a pulley in between the two joists. So the pulley, I've got a cable that goes through it, and then I simply loop it through the lever on the belt squat. I attach that, and then I put a handle up here. You can do your press downs. You can do like a kind of bastardized lat pull down in a way. You can do high pulls. You can do a lot of like machine work curls and things like that. It essentially gives you a single stack, functional trainer, not functional trainer, but a single stack station, simply out of your belt squat, and all you got to do is throw a pulley in the ceiling. And I think that the whole kit came together, probably cost me $30 from Home Depot. Yeah, so definitely a good option to go. A lot of versatility and things like that. And yeah, so in terms of equipment, obviously you just can't get everything that you want, which you can't really do anyways in a home gym. But yeah, and then you just got to kind of pick and choose from there what works for you and that kind of thing. So the next thing, as I adjust the camera here, is attaching stuff, kind of like what I just said, to your floor joists. So I find this is like one of the easiest things to do, and there's a lot of things you can do with it. Just simply putting a hook and a band here. Again, press downs, pulls. If you wanted to, you could put a hook on the floor or something and do curls. But yeah, just super versatile. I actually have a hook here and a hook here, and I'm standing on my deadlift platform, and I use that for a reverse band setup, which is kind of cool when I'm deadlifting. So yeah, attaching things up in the floor joist, because that's, you know, you're gonna have a lot of space up there. I feel like most people that have a basement gym that isn't that's like really restricted by ceiling height is probably not going to be a totally finished space, because typically the lower basements, like the lower basement ceiling height thing, that was you know, they all typically have lower ceiling heights, but it was definitely more common a long time ago. So if it's an older home, you probably have a shorter ceiling height to work with. But yeah, so that being said, you just got to get creative with it. I have looked at different kind of lat pull downs and stuff that would actually fit in between the floor joists. So, you know, you can obviously, you can do that kind of thing too. I've even seen people with, they get something they really want and then they cut it through the floor and then do like, I forget what it's called, like with the drywall, like a drop shelf kind of thing to hide it. And, you know, that's going a little extreme, but, you know, there's always a workaround. There's always a workaround. So yeah. So you're just limited by the types of equipment. The more stuff you can get that's, you know, shorter, obviously the better that's going to be. And things like, you'll get a lot more value out of different types of barbells, because you know, it's a lot easier to use a bar, like a curl bar or something, for example, than it is to, you know, and do like your arm accessories with that, versus obviously you don't want to use a barbell for everything. It's nice to have some variation in your workouts. But yeah, it's easier to do that than maybe get a piece of equipment that's, you know, may not fit exactly. The other big thing is for cardio stuff, that was a problem, because treadmills are, you know, you're standing, you don't really, it's not really something you think about. It's like, oh, treadmill, you know, I'm running as long as I can run in the space. The treadmills will lift you up 6-8 inches, maybe even a foot off the ground in some cases. I know those True Runner ones, those would be totally out of the question for here. I mean, unless you want to run with your head in between the floor joists, but that might not be for everybody. It would look kind of silly and probably just kind of feel weird. But yeah, treadmills are kind of out of the questions. You can get low profile treadmills, like they're like walking style ones. I don't know how good those are. I've never used one. I don't know how, you know, nice that would be. But even exercise bikes, you got to be careful. I found I had the Rogue Echo bike for a minute, and even that, it was pretty close to banging my head on the ceiling. So you just got to make sure that you measure that the space out where you want to use it. If you need to cut more space, then do it. Wouldn't recommend ever cutting into these. That's typically a pretty big no-no. I mean, you can do it in some spots, it just depends, but I wouldn't start taking a hacksaw to your floor joist anytime soon. But yeah, so that's basically just some basic, you know, tips and tricks, and I hope that helps you guys out. If you guys have more ideas or things that you do to work within a low ceiling space, let me know down below in the comments. But yeah, so we got the power rack nailed down, you know, different types of equipment, stuff that's, you know, obviously shorter, but more versatile, that you can, you know, maybe, you just got to like keep that in mind when you get stuff. Like, again, the belt squat was just perfect for that. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Catch the next one, guys. Chicken out. Back.